And we're live once again. Welcome back to the Print Files at PacPrint, streaming live from the PacPrint Expo floor. Lindy Houston has taken a moment out from her mad running around to see everyone that she has to sit down, take a breather, and have a chat.
Yes, and I'm very excited to be having this chat, Grant. I use excited a lot, I must say, but I always am. I bumped into my good friend, Joe Foster from Close the Loop Group. Joe is the CEO, and he's here visiting the show. Joe, give us your impressions so far.
Well, thank you, Lindy. I think it's great to see PacPrint exhibiting and the opportunity for certainly for brands to be exhibiting their product. I find it's quite a good impression. Looking at high tech on the stands. I mean, the quality of the stands are fantastic. It's nice to give people the exposure to come back to these exhibitions again. So from the stands I've visited, I must say I'm quite impressed with the product that's on offering here today.
And there's certainly, I know your particular area of interest, your group is completely focused on sustainability and the circular economy, and your area of interest as well, Joe, digital printing for labels and flexible packaging. So what have you seen that's impressed you?
What I've seen and certainly spoken to a number of companies here today is that the journey that they want to take around sustainability, and I call it the big challenge towards sustainability, because looking at what's on offering at the moment with regards to various print type of machinery, certainly digital printing, and considering what media or print media and films they currently print on at the moment, the move towards sustainability and the offering within sustainability is going to be a big challenge. There's no doubt about it. I think certainly education, engagement with the various different brands is going to be quite important to make it work here in Australia, but also it's all very well ticking the box with regards to supplying a sustainable product within the packaging and labels space. But I think we also have to consider what happens to the product afterwards. You know, we're sort of in this circular economy and certainly heading towards, as you know, the targets for 2025, and packaging and labels fit right into that space where we have to consider that all packaging has to be recyclable, reusable, or compostable. And of course, as you know, packaging must contain up to 50% recycled content. That in itself poses a major challenge.
Yeah, and the compatibility of those new sustainable materials, and we see there's quite a vast display of materials here from various suppliers. The compatibility of those, or the usability of those on the new presses, is there a fit there, or is there a little bit of a challenge going on there too?
Yeah. And Lindy, that's a great question because we see it certainly within the flexible packaging space. Is that if you consider, you know, your presses that you've got on offer at the moment, they're designed for high spec, high speed, high commercial prospects. And of course, the packaging or the materials that are being developed for these presses have been developed for quite some time to give you the optimum performance. Now we're actually introducing a sustainable material, okay, which is not going to fit the exact specification of what that press was initially designed for. So there is adjustment. And as I say, there is going to be some challenges because, as you're aware, sustainable packaging or sustainable materials for both labels and flexible do perform very different compared to normal standard materials that are used within the labels and packaging industry.
And are you seeing that there is, from your customers' point of view, a strong demand for those sustainable materials, but a reticence to go that way because of the kit that has to then be invested in order to print and produce?
Yes, I do see that. In fact, the pushback from brands, from private label brands in the market wanting to go towards the sustainable option, and there is definitely a pushback for manufacturers to find the suitable equipment to make it work. There's no doubt about it. I do also believe that, you know, looking at equipment that's available within the presses and so forth, it's going to require adjustment. It's going to require lengthy trials. It's not a one-fit-all solution. That is what's very, very interesting, as we've known. It's a matter of trying to find something that's going to work on a machine which is already a known, whereas the sustainable products that we want to offer through labels and packaging is an unknown at this stage.
Yeah.
In terms of how the materials perform and so forth. But I think, you know, the outlook is very positive. I think we will find those solutions. I think we have to work together, and we have to offer that advice. I think we really do. It's not just one company standing up and saying, we've got the solution. I think industry need to work together. I've said it many, many times.
Yeah. Collaboration is key.
Yeah, absolutely, Lindy.
Now, Joe, you for all the many things that you're doing now as the CEO of Close the Loop Group, also managing director of OF Packaging, businesses around the world, but you give a lot of your time back to the industry through education. I really commend you for that. Thank you so much, because it's such a contribution. And this very afternoon, you're here at PacPrint speaking. What will you be talking about?
Yeah, in fact, it's around sustainability and the
Mm.
challenges that print is going to have, and how they can overcome those initial challenges with regards to finding that sustainable solution. I do think that, and honestly speaking, that a lot of the print companies feel and think it's an easy transition. It's actually not an easy transition, and I
Yeah.
want to try and sort of at least give them some advice on the journey and certainly the steps they should be really taking towards a sustainable journey. It's not as I said, it's it's not going to change, or it's not going to just change overnight with regards to that solution. There's going to have to be engagement. There's no doubt about it. So my message today to the companies will be: sometimes think about going back to basic. Think about what is your press. What can your press physically do? What are the materials can it actually work with? What does the customer require? And then think about the sustainable solution that you've got on offering. Will that fit both? In most cases, it'll fit one more so than the other,
Yeah.
but it's going to require work. There's no doubt about it.
All right. Well, Joe, thank you so much for giving us some time here on the stand, speaking to Print 21 on the print files. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Lindy. I appreciate the opportunity. Cheers.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Lindy. And of course, thanks to everyone who's been listening in to the Print Files at PacPrint, streaming live from the PacPrint exhibition floor. As you can hear from the live messages coming through about forums. Of course, we're sponsored by Ball and Doggett, and we'll be back soon with another live interview. So please stay tuned to this channel.